I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't
It was in San Francisco that I was first introduced to the idea that MDMA could help treat PTSD.
Treatments for post-traumatic stress disorder really aren't that great. I mean, the antidepressants treat some of the symptoms, and the anti-anxiety medicines will treat some of the symptoms, and the sleeping pills will treat some of the symptoms, but there certainly isn't, one pill that's going to make all your PTSD symptoms go away. And, one of the reasons why I'm really invested in MDMA-assisted psychotherapy for post-traumatic stress disorder is that it works, and people don't need to take any medicines. They undergo this process of psychotherapy, and within the psychotherapy, they take MDMA, which is sort of like a catalyst that helps the therapy go deeper. But once they work their way through the protocol, which may be 16 therapy sessions and 2 or 3 of them are MDMA-assisted psychotherapy sessions, and once they work their way through the protocol, they're not meeting criteria for post-traumatic stress disorder anymore. They don't have their symptoms anymore. And they don't necessarily need to take antipsychotics or antidepressants or anti-anxiety medicines. In the long run, I think that MDMA-assisted psychotherapy is sort of a more effective and more efficient way of treating post-traumatic stress disorder. And one of the things that we're doing right now is we're really trying to work with the Veterans Affairs and the Department of Defense and showing them this data and showing them that, look, there are other ways to treat post-traumatic stress disorder besides sort of standard psychiatric medicines, which don't necessarily work that well.
In those days, if you wanted to try this therapy, you had to get a hold of some MDMA and do it on your own. In other words, in order to have a shot at healing deep trauma, you had to break the law and put yourself at great risk. Not the most advisable therapy, but that's what I did. And without any kind of supervised treatment plan, and a history of substance abuse and 2 prior felony convictions, I went a bit overboard.
I think you did a little too much LDS.
LDS?
It made me careless. My carelessness landed me in prison for 1 year when I was caught with MDMA back in Chicago by the same group of cops that had beat me that night. The full understanding of what it is like to be forcibly dislocated from society becomes the key struggle, and in the end, the key transformative experience of any prisoner's life. Jazz musicians talk about sustained intensity. Prison life is a frantic Coltrane riff that produces no sound and sucks the life right out of you. It's a negative-sum game for which there is no recuperative period. Forget whatever you have heard about prison being either rehabilitation or punishment. It's neither. It's an industry like any other. In this case, the widgets are poor people. Prison is a warehousing facility for the surplus population of American society, those without any hope of advancement. Imagine what that does to a society when 20% of the population cannot find work. The last time that happened was during the Great Depression.